I am sorry that I cannot tell you an immense number of revelations, which are very important for me to convey. But our dear brother angels have advised me not to tell you everything at once in order to leave time for meditation useful for learning the messages themselves, which lie behind all the words said so far. However, consider this text as an essential stimulus for moving forward, paying more attention to encounters, because it is good to know that every person we say goodbye to represents a message for us, and that very often we may happen to never have to meet them again. Throughout my life experiences, I have become convinced that there is only infinite life, and in between experiences, there are passing moments that cause us to undergo a transformation, which represents the evolution of our state of being, depending on what we have learned. Many individuals need years, and sometimes an entire lifetime is not enough to grasp the true meaning of things. I like to give this example. At the cross with Jesus, there were two people of whom one realized in a moment all his mistakes with such awareness that Jesus himself promised him immediate salvation, while the other person not only mocked him, but because he had his eyes closed, he could not admit his own shortcomings, even believing himself to be in the right by insulting Jesus. There was no awareness whatsoever, and it follows that freedom from our own ignorance must be earned by ourselves, by truly opening our eyes to what we do. My commitment to telling the story ends here, and I am not looking for reason. Be you now to find, if you will, a more exact reason for the very existence of your life, and you will see how much more we all have to learn. And as Corrado, the well-known presenter, used to say, and it doesn't end here. Good work to all. Message to readers. Look for the light. For the eternal truth is written in every man, but darkness does not allow him to see it. Those who love the positive pensier choose to work with employment and with justice in defense of the humilés. The 5 angelic suggestions. Discover before anything else the richness that is enclosed in your heart. 2. Seize from adversity opportunities to improve yourself. Always render good for bad. 3. Pray and meditate deeply with all your heart, all your mind, and all your soul. 4. Meditate on your thoughts every day so that you can consciously eliminate invidence and gelosia, 2 very powerful and destructive ocular inner enemies. 5. Ask our cooperation for any problem. We will always be happy to help you in any situation, so that we can contribute to your evolution according to the divine plan. Transparency. Choosing between good and evil, between knowledge and ignorance, should not be difficult, because those who have decided to practice the Christ teaching have already chosen to do good without conditions. Therefore, before taking any initiative, let us try to understand its real source, knowing that the body of man desires things contrary to the spirit. Let us be careful. We are God, and that is perfect love, every time we act united with His will, because God speaks to us from within, from our heart, instructing us. Thanks. I thank my parents for their example of simplicity and humility. Heartfelt acknowledgement to the nice members of the publishing house, Stephen, Gogo, Carmela, Saba, and Tatiana. I would also like to thank all the people who, in underestimating my efforts, have unintentionally helped me. Their attitude was a stimulus to attune me mentally and personally with all those who, on the contrary, believe in positive thinking. This gave me more strength in continuing on the path by continuing to esteem the angelic collaboration. In contact with readers, 7 years after the first edition. Dear readers, I first want to thank you because it was you who initiated the reprinting of my book. In fact, many felt the need to circulate this publication of mine among friends and acquaintances. It was wonderful for me to know you personally or through sharing messages on my cell phone. Let's exhort ourselves, therefore, to move forward, together, even if necessarily on different paths. Because we each have the freedom to choose our own path. We are divine beings, all wonderfully different and unlimited. We are our thoughts, so we are always thinking. Positive. We are in our own hands. We can everything. Why? The kingdom of heaven, which is our Father, is within us and is in all things that live around us. We are free at any time to change the thoughts that bore us and transform them into more joyful thoughts in union with the 7 basic laws, which are will, order, wisdom, seriousness, patience, love, mercy. Therefore, faith's reason action, joy, that eternal life. There are so many things I would like to say, but I am aware that when we decide to change our lives, following a dark moment in our earthly existence, accident, illness, bereavement, financial crisis, the entire universe puts itself at our complete disposal to point us to the right material to help us cope with the joyful change. I love you all indiscriminately, as the Father loves us all, unconditionally. He who loves the Father loves himself first, and then is able to love his neighbor inevitably. Let's all do this. And then, hooray for joy, hooray for God. With our imagination, we create everything. That is why everything we believe is true. Let us always remember that everything we allow to be thought becomes a truth. Life on this earth is always evolving through our positive thoughts. There are always an increasing number of people who pray and act in harmonious accord with what they state. Faith, reason, action. We are all masters of ourselves. God is joy. We live united with the Father, because everything else is bore. Infinite joy to all. Eleonora Harriel. To the dear souls who will read this book, I joyfully send thanks and blessing. Certainly the content of these personal revelations of mine have given enormous benefits to the continuation of my life, because by always going forward in a countercurrent way, I have been able to evolve those awarenesses that needed more light, especially those that I had not studied in depth. I am therefore happy to give you this work of mine solely, at the service of the Divine Conscience Father-Mother, that could be very useful to introduce you to the reading of the Book of Christ Returns. Reveals surprising truths that you can download for free from the website, www.christsway.co.za. In fact, when I became aware of these revelations about 6 years ago, I was able to complete what had been announced to me by the light, and which concerns the true teaching of Christ in the person of Jesus. In Love and Lace, Eleonora Harriel. It is a therapy book that can awaken in the most distracted reader the desire to discover the light of awakening within himself. The book has an agile structure but is rich in content. The discussion ranges from the psychology of emotions to the social sharing of emotions, passing through current terrains. Being full of joy and deep inner serenity, and being able to free oneself from any type of suffering today can become a wonderful reality to be experienced firsthand. Reading this book, taken from a contemporary experience, one can grasp through the simplicity of the narration, the true essence of our journey into unreality, where we can all be active protagonists. Disclosure of spiritual evolution. New L Consciousness. YouTube, Eleonora Harriel.